What's happening, mediocre people of YouTube? So after about a year of thinking about this, we have finally decided what we're going to do. It's going out for paint, obviously. It's going out for paint to an excellent painter that you guys all know. If you don't know him, I'm going to let you try to figure it out. Getting a brand new Floyd Rose, Schaller Floyd Rose. I'm very happy with this unit. Very nice and heavy. 42 millimeter. I gotta check that too. That should be, yeah, that's gonna be fine. That's gonna be fine. I was hoping it wasn't too deep. So anyway, so right now, as you guys can see, I've already started pulling things apart and doing some things and measuring some things because I need to retrofit this Floyd Rose, correct? Correct. So let's talk about it. So typically the first thing we deal with, or it can be the second thing, it doesn't matter, but what I like to do when setting these up is I like to get everything kind of in place so that I know where the strings are going to be and all that other stuff. So I usually start with the nut. As you can see, it just had a regular nut here, 25.5-inch scale guitar. It's going to get the Floyd Rose nut, which is already going to be low, which is cool. I'm happy about that. I was watching another luthier, and so all I have to do here, I was watching another luthier, and he was retrofitting this, and he actually went lower than it needed to go because of, see how that hangs off there? So you can always shim it, right? So what I'm going to do, so that I don't have as much of an overhang here, is all I'm basically going to do is I'm just going to route this, see that channel there? I'm just going to route that off of there, and then we're going to see how that sits on there. So that is it. As you can see, that truss rod is right there. I actually nicked it just a touch. So all I did is just basically all I did with the router was just take this finish off, really. I probably could have sanded it, but then now this is going to sit in there nice and flush, and it's very low, very low. So it's gonna, I'm trying to see if you guys can see it, it's gonna take a couple of shims for sure. But all I was doing, because I saw another luthier do it, and I wish I would have done it, I guess I could go back and do it on my other Strat, is he actually went low intentionally just so that this would sit flat in there and not have such a gap, you know, so it sits flat. Anyway, now I got to get to getting. And this part is the part where everything needs to really come together here. You can see where the old bridge sat. It was a regular, like a Strat bridge, you know, like a whammy, Strat whammy, whatever you want to call it. It was, well, let me grab the Floyd here. It was 25.5 inches exactly. The E string falling off the saddle, the high E falling off the saddle was 25 inches, 25.5 inches exactly, and it was perfectly intonated. So with this, I already know, because I looked at this before, that this material here, right here, basically this lip, and it makes it kind of convenient, really, when you look at the back. That lip in there basically has to come out of there. So that's what the next thing to do is to take that lip out of there. That's going to allow us enough room to put this in the put the post in the proper place. So I'm off to doing that next. So just kind of why I'm taking that lip off that I was talking about. Like I said, this old bridge at the high E string, sorry, I'm hungry, guys. I just keep going, so I'm eating while I'm working. The old bridge was about 25.5 inches, not about, it was actually 25 5/8 of an inch. High E string falling off the saddle. What I mean is coming off the saddle, that was 25 5/8. 25.5, 25 5/8, somewhere right in that area. So as you can see, that's why that material has to come out, because we're all the way forward here and we're like 26 inches. So I can take that lip, which is probably, I don't know, the size of the end of my finger, whatever that is, half inch. I can take that half inch out of there, and it'll help actually, and get things out of the way. Then we move on to the more serious business, really. Okay, so now this here gives us our 25 and 5/8-ish. Also, I forgot to say just a minute ago, when you get a brand new Floyd Rose like this, make sure that before you start retrofitting that you are putting all of these saddles in about the middle position, because they don't come that way, or at least this one didn't. It came all the way forward, or all the way, it was probably all the way forward, wasn't all the way back. So you got to take these saddles and put them all in the middle position, which is cool. So we routed that, and that gives us what we want there. Now the thing to do, I've got to figure out where my posts are going, and that is another thing. I'm going to do some measurements here from the neck. We're going to go from the neck down here on both sides. We're going to do some measurements and some centering, and that should put us exactly where we're at. But this is why I leave the strings on. Oop, I lost my high E. I'll put this one on the high E. Doesn't matter. I need two of them, okay? Because I want to see where the strings land on each side. And that, your measuring that you're going to do here, like I say, off the neck here, and you're going to put a couple lines here, and you're going to get a center measurement, which that's what I'm going to do next. That's great. And of course, your scale length measurement for your post. Now, but the fine tuning part of it is, putting the nut in place and putting a high E and a low E string on, and seeing where those strings sit, because they're going to sit there forever. And you got to be happy with that. You don't want the high E falling off of this side, or the low E falling off of that side. So that's kind of how you fine tune it. All right, I got to get back to it. I got to get my straight pieces of metal that I brought out here somewhere. I know I did. Here we go. I've got some very straight pieces of aluminum here. I gotta take some measurements. I gotta make some marks and take some measurements. I'll be back with you in a second. It's just too difficult to hold all this in place and try to work with this on camera, because obviously we're not going to tighten the strings, but they do need to be taut, because like I said, these strings are going to be where they're going to be. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, now that I have my strings where I want them, I've made a mark. Whoops. I've made a mark on either side of this, okay? So that I know where this bridge needs to sit on either side. Those two marks, one right there and the other one right there. Now I know where this needs to sit, and now I can take my measurements and figure out where my posts are going to go, and I can mark those holes and drill them. So that's it for right now. I'm going to drill my holes for my posts. I like to use, those of you guys that know me, I like to use the Floyd Rose direct to body studs. I'm not going to put the bushings in. I like these. Do they make a difference? I'm going to tell you, yes, they make a difference. I'm not going to tell you how. You can figure it out on your own. Maybe it doesn't make a difference to you, but it doesn't really matter, because if they start to wiggle later, I always have the bushings that I can install later on. This is all I can do for right now. I'm going to drill my holes, and then I have a template coming to do the recessed routing. The last time I did a recess, it was fine. It worked out great, but I sweated bullets. I did it freehand. In fact, there it is. That's the last time I recessed the Floyd Rose, and it came out fine. It's great, but it was just too much. I sweated bullets on it, and this time I'm doing it with a Floyd Rose recess template. It's just gonna give me much more peace of mind. This is now almost a 10-minute video. This stuff, you have to take your time. Just take your time. It's not a race. Take your time. If you, it's less is more, right? Like right here, where I did the nut, I need to just sand that little edge right there. I'm just gonna sand. I'm not gonna do it with the router, because I don't want to touch the fretboard. I probably could have pushed my rig up a little bit further and it would have taken that hair off of there, that little lip right there. But you know what? I'm more comfortable just now. I can just take a little block, I can sand it down. And I got to take the tuners off. I'll get back to you with, I'll either post some pics or I'll post a video of the recessed Floyd. And then it's going off for paint to the one and only, the Art of Noise, Eric C. We've discussed for a year now. We've been discussing what I want to do here, and I finally decided what I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell you guys. I'll let Eric show you. And like I said, I didn't even need to put this tape down, but it's just I put it more down for my eyes because my eyes aren't getting any better as I get older. It's easier for me to see the marks on this finish. So yeah, I'm gonna get the recess done. I gotta get the strap buttons off. The tuners have to come off, and then it'll be getting shipped out pretty quick here. So until next time, peace out.